Welcome to the Business and Technology Academic and Career Pathway, or ACP, workshop. Today's focus is on the Computer Studies and Information Technology, or CSIT, department. Our faculty today are Steve Isaacson and Rick White.
Okay, awesome. And then can we, so Valerie, yeah, I see in the chat you have a question regarding analytics. I think it's fine to ask questions as we go along. No point to save them up to the end. Go ahead.
So I am a business major and I was thinking of transferring into doing marketing, but I'm currently taking the digital media course, social media marketing. And my professor mentioned to maybe look into getting a certificate in Google Analytics. Do you think that also implies like learning data and analytics? Does that?
Well, okay. So who is your professor, Valerie?
Isabel Jenkinson, I believe.
Okay, so you're taking Isabella Janovic. So your class is CSIT 155, Social Media for Business.
Yes.
One of the most popular classes in our department. And there is a certificate in the business department that is a Social Media for Business certificate. So that's an option for you as a marketing major or a business major is to add that certificate on, possibly. That's something you and I could talk about. And then what Isabella is talking about is when you take a class with us, typically we're going to expose you to a variety of industry certifications that are possible as an outcome of that class. So I think, and again, you'll want to ask Isabella more about this, but I think what she's recommending is that you pair your knowledge from CSIT 155 with a class in Google Analytics and all of the big providers, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Oracle, PeopleSoft. I mean, every single large technology platform out there has certifications in their platform. Google has dozens of certifications under the Google brand. And so the answer generally, and I'll let Rick see what, I'll ask him to confirm this, is just, in IT, certifications matter and industry certifications matter. And so when you come out of your educational experience at MiraCosta, if you have a degree, a certificate, some specialized classes maybe, and then also an industry certification, that's a big deal. That matters. That adds value to your resume to an employer that's looking for that. So do you want to, Rick, talk about that as from your perspective?
Yeah, well, it's so timely because, our Club IT, we've been bringing in Club IT, which is, technologists. And again, it kind of sometimes can be a little scary, like, oh, I don't want to be with all these technology kind of nerds. But it's really a fantastic place to network as far as understanding kind of just technology and what opportunities are there, because they're all students that are kind of in the tech world in all different aspects. So what we've been doing is trying to bring in people that are industry leaders. So we had the senior VP of engineering for Smart Drive come in, and last night we had BAE's senior cybersecurity expert come in, and they're all talking about these are kind of candidates that we're looking for. These are how we validate candidates. These are things that are important, right? And what I'm hearing is that a lot of times that it's not just the degree, but they want, if you don't have a lot of industry experience, they'll say, hey, if you have a certificate, then we know that you've kind of taken the time to really understand the concepts, and that'll be a good stepping off point. So we really tried to emphasize that in the CSIT department and make things, really kind of digestible and understandable. There's a lot of really wonderful teachers in the program that'll really kind of, blunt any, kind of scariness. And if you have the time to get in and take some classes just to experience it, I think it's a very worthwhile experience.
Yeah, so just to go on a little bit with your question, Valerie, as I move to Nina, as you can if you can, I still am not able to start my screen sharing because you're sharing, Nina. So if you could, there we go. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to share with you just along these lines and getting to your question, Valerie. I'll get there a little bit more, but I want to start, I'm going to come back to your question, Valerie, about this concept of industry certification versus local degrees and certificates at MiraCosta. So, okay, so if you go to miracosta.edu/CSIT, so let's just start. This is our Computer Studies and Information Technology homepage, our department homepage. There's a terrific video here that I think will give you some context just for how, as we get to the end of this and we start talking about the outcomes, the desired outcome is like employment and high wage, high paying jobs. And so cybersecurity is one of the hotter areas in the department. But this video here is very short. It just gives you a taste, a feel. So I'm going to play that. And then as I play it, Rick White, if you could give me a thumbs up, letting me know like just the sound and you can see the video playing.
I'm really excited about our cybersecurity degree. Within the San Diego region, there's over 4,000 cybersecurity jobs, including the Department of Defense, as well as local companies within the MiraCosta district, such as Viasat and Proficio. And this even stems even more jobs throughout the nation, even throughout the world. Cybersecurity is required everywhere.
Cybersecurity is protecting your computer from internal or external attacks on your environment.
Cybersecurity is important because it's all around us. It's from the cell phones you use to the computers. Now everything is smart, so anything can be hacked, which is why we need to protect ourselves against that.
Companies are hiring people just to find bugs in their systems, and that's very much part of cybersecurity.
MiraCosta provides us with VMware as well as Microsoft Imagine so we can produce home labs and practice and do the stuff that we're learning about in class. But more importantly, actually in class, it's not just lecture and tests. We have physical labs. In CSIT 170, we actually built our own PCs to practice our labs on.
The most valuable lesson I've learned is how to apply all of the knowledge that we're learning in class into our future jobs.
With a degree in cybersecurity, you can be anything from a forensics analyst for your local police department to a security systems analyst for a much bigger company. I think I made a really good choice when I chose MiraCosta. Just from the beginning, everybody was super helpful, from staff to anyone you talk to. They just really wanted to help you out.
That's our very own star student, Paula, who is joining us here in this call. So shout out to Paula there. Hi, Paula. So very cool kind of video that gives you a flavor. And our department website is such a great spot to get a feel for everything we're talking about. So as we scroll down, some of your career options are discussed here. This is by no means everything. I mean, IT applies to every field, but these are like IT specific career paths. And then as we scroll down further, we have a nice success story here from Nick Sultanian, who has been a very successful grad of ours. We have many, many success stories that we could share with you, because one of the things that we do that's unique in our department is that if you're going to get a degree or certificate with us, one of the requirements is that you're going to have to do an internship, or you're going to have to build a portfolio and do career study, or you're going to have to come out with a certification of some kind. And so to your question, Valerie, again, we have classes, we have certificates and degrees, and then kind of beyond that you might add onto that, which is what Professor Janovic's recommending to you, is something like an industry certification, a vendor specific certification like Google, analytics, or whatever that certification was that she recommended. So anything involving data science, analytics, right now is super valuable and super hot, and it applies to marketing and social media, because that's how companies are using data to target more effective marketing and to tune Instagram and Facebook and the ads that you see to the audience. And so the specific audience, becoming much more refined in how that data is being used to make sure that they're reaching their customers that need their products in real time, and that those ads are accurate. So as we scroll down here, I want to just draw your attention to the different certificates we offer and the classes. But instead of looking at this, I want to come all the way down here to this link. It's probably the most important link on our website, and this is something you can look at when this session is over. You can look at in more detail. But as I click on this, you're going to see that we have our certificates in achievement laddered and described from a color coding system from less technical to more technical. Okay, so business information worker, those are on the less technical ends. As we progress through our 8 certificates of achievement that can also be degrees if they're paired with general education courses in 60 units, we go all the way up to cybersecurity. And then certificates of proficiency, we have these designed to introduce you to these 8 certificates of achievement here, and they all flow into those. And then down below, we have our classes coded as well as sort of less technical and more technical. So one of the things that I was asked is, where do you start? And so as we look at, we have about 30 classes in the department here, and the one that Valerie was referring to is right here. Many students, if they're business students and they have some computer background, they might be taking an Excel class, CSIT 128, or that social media business class. If you're brand new to computers and you don't have any experience at all, 101 is our start. And then 110 and 120 are kind of our general survey classes. And we have a lot of sections of those and a lot of students. And then Valerie, there's that 123, that data analytics, which is not using the Google tools as a platform, but is getting into those same concepts of how do we take big data sets and work with them and refine them down. And so 101, 110, 120, those are sort of our gateways into a lot of our curriculum and a lot of our upper level classes. And then you'll see 180, which is our gateway into our highest level classes, our most technical classes, fundamentals of computer networking and security, Windows Server, Linux Server, analyst, ethical hacker, Cisco, etc. And then there's those career exploration, professional certification preparation classes. We have a couple general education classes that fulfill the UC and CSU GE area requirements. 160 fulfills area D for the IGETC pattern, and or area 4 rather for the IGETC pattern, and area D for the CSU pattern, and 165 fulfills area E for the CSU pattern, and area 4 for the UC pattern. So we have a lot of different offerings here. We have a whole 4 business series, 125 through 137, that are all those applications within a business context. And as we scroll down, we'll see those degrees that you saw at the top. We'll see those degrees and certificates, and then what's required to earn them. And then once you have that degree, or once you're in your last semester or second to last semester, and you're really thinking about moving into the workforce and getting an internship or a career, those are sort of our next set of slides that Nina's going to cover in terms of job outcomes and what the wages are and what the opportunities are. But before I go to that, is there any questions about like our classes, our sequencing, this document, what our certificate options are. Does anybody have any questions about this? So again, where did we find that? On the Computer Studies homepage, down here at the bottom, our first link kind of crystallizes all those options in our department. And then Rick was talking a little bit earlier about our club, and I think that's something that's unique in our department. Our club is really, really popular, and it's a great place to build community and connect with other students. And I'll click on that link right now, and I'd encourage you to explore that webpage and take a look here at these two recordings from the guest lectures that Rick was referring to a few minutes ago. Those have been the last 2 weeks. So, the club has guest speakers, but they also do things like, eat pizza and fly drones and do, help nonprofits with their computer needs and, work on computers. And we have an Oculus Rift system. And so the club's doing everything virtually right now. And the club's open to anyone. You don't have to be in CSIT. So this is the link right here. And, check it out. They meet every Wednesday at 3:30. Probably last meeting of the semester next week, right, Rick? Yeah. Do you have anything to add about the club, Rick? Rick is one of our co-advisors on the club, so he's there every week.
Yeah. I just want to say that, a lot of, especially what students should embrace about CSIT is the exploration and the learning. We're all here to facilitate that. And there's lots and lots of resources here, for your exploration. And Club IT is one part of it. And, our courses, that Steve outlined, those all are breadcrumbs for you. Give yourself a chance to really kind of understand where technology fits into what it is that you're building in your career. And I think, you'll be amazed at how many opportunities will just reveal themselves to you.
Yeah, really well said. And take a look here. I just want to scroll through. These are many of our faculty experts. Many of them are working in industry. So these are not people that are just teaching, although that is what, Rick Cassoni, myself, and Rick White do. We're full-time teachers at MiraCosta, but every one of these folks is also employed in industry, in IT. These are your mentors. These are your supporters. These are when you take their classes. Valerie, you mentioned Isabella. Here she is. Isabella is a prolific social media consultant, trainer, and has her own business and is one of the most successful social media designers and consultants in San Diego. And she teaches upper division at Cal State San Marcos. And, this is just a fantastic group of people. I mean, Abdi here, this is the director of information systems for the entire college here at MiraCosta. Claudia Falk owns Aztec Brewery, a very successful local business. Don Dean works for Boeing. I mean, these are people, Tim McLean's on the base at Camp Pendleton as their cybersecurity and data officer. Deborah Sable's up at De Anza College doing great work up there. I mean, these are people that are out working. They're successful. These are people that are great people to learn from. So I wanted to share that list with you just to give you a sense of just how big our department is and the type of folks that you would be interacting with. And I know we're getting to that 30-minute mark, Nina, where you want to talk about the career piece. So we'll do that in a minute. I want to tell you that we have an active Instagram presence and Facebook presence. So if you click here on our Instagram page and follow us there, you'll see, have a way to connect with the department, and you can see all of the different stuff that we're doing and that we're involved in. And as you scroll back here, I mean, you'll see some really exciting stuff. here's an outreach effort that we were involved in with Oceanside Middle School students, teaching them how to use Scratch programming with Raspberry Pi systems that we have as part of our club, and setting those up. And what you can see all of the students here who are having the opportunity to give back and work with those students. Or you can see here a tech talk that we host annually. And all of these folks sitting up here at the panel, these are all people. I can see, somebody right here in the middle who is Director of Information Insurance at SAIC, right? Not SAIC, Viasat, huge company in Carlsbad that's doing satellite internet. Opportunities, real world opportunities. Here's another picture of students interacting with the Director of Hiring at Robert Half International. There's a lot of different departments and a lot of fields of study at MiraCosta, but this is one that is hands-on and it's real. You can touch the technology. You got a department that's super engaged. We're out in the community. There's Paula again. And I think that there's just a lot of exciting reasons to think about taking CSIT classes and being involved with our department. So is there any other questions before I turn it over to Nina and kind of go back to the PowerPoint, and she can share some of the wage and job outcomes, some of like what you can expect, what the opportunities are like. Any other questions? We do have in addition to partnering with, San Marcos and SDSU and having all those transfer opportunities, we also have a local transfer opportunity with Point Loma Nazarene to get a bachelor's degree on campus at MiraCosta for the same price as a CSU degree to do your next 2 years after you finish your general education at MiraCosta. And so if that's something you're interested in, you'll want to email me or Rick White afterwards and ask questions about that. That's exciting too. Those classes are taught in our same labs. Not with COVID right now, but they are being done virtually.
Okay, so I just picked a job title. We have a tool that we have access to, and a lot of the reports that are run in our region use this particular program, but I just use cybersecurity. So I picked a job title called Cyber Information Security Engineer or Analyst, and did a little kind of a snapshot of what's going on within this particular career area. So first, just starting off in terms of salary and kind of training. Usually the more training you have, the higher your salary. But a cyber information security engineer or analyst with a high school and when they say VOC training, that means maybe a student that has completed a certificate, would have a median salary of $82,000 a year, which is incredible in terms of pay. If you go on to do the associate's degree, a few $1,000s more would be your median salary. And with a bachelor's degree, even higher at $95,000. So what I did is I used this tool to sort of do a snapshot of job postings that have happened within the last 12 months. Well, within the last 12 months, there's been some pretty wild things happening in the job market. So I did do kind of a comparison to see that job posting number down there in the lower left of 25,028 positions. So for the job title, Cyber Information Security Engineer Analyst, within the last 12 months, there are 2,500 postings within San Diego, Carlsbad metro area. So that's our San Diego County area. Huge demand. So that shows very, very high demand. They talk about it with regard to level of demand. This is very high. What I also did, though, just for the gut check of COVID, is I tried you can't run this particular report that way, but I did it for just the last 6 months to sort of say, okay, let's see how COVID has affected those numbers. So my number of positions that actually posted within the last 6 months are 1107. So you would imagine if it were right on the money and be about half, but it's just a little bit less, which compared to other industries is holding pretty good. So the COVID balance of that is fairly good. So pretty awesome from that standpoint as well. Then if you look at all those job postings, the 2,500 job postings, years of experience and education level, this little bar graph shows you that you have some entry level positions available. So of those, you can have an associate's degree and still kind of potentially expect to have entry level for 17% of those jobs. At the bachelor level, about 45%, master's degree and doctorate, it goes down from there. So bachelor's is definitely the preferred. I'm sorry, I'm doing years of experience. Generally speaking, a bachelor's degree is kind of what they're looking for. That's the second graph, the education level graph. About 80% are looking for that bachelor's, but about, a pretty small sector would take an associate's degree, but even 12% having that entry level ability. And then the years of experience graph, again, 0 to 2 years of experience, about 17%, 3 to 5 years of experience is really what they're looking for, but there are some entry level opportunities. So it's pretty cool from that standpoint. And another really positive one is that the projected growth over the next 10 years for this particular job title is 28.4%. So that's pretty incredible. I'm going to just go on to the next slide, and then I'll take some questions just about this. So the cyber information security engineer analyst is kind of the center of this graph, and the ones that are closer. So when Steve was talking about different kinds of related jobs that you might potentially look for, things like network engineer and architect or computer systems engineer and architect, those are a little closer to a cyber information person. Whereas maybe if you're getting into telecommunications or network administration, it's a little further away, but still kind of in the same related field. So lots of incredible opportunities. I just chose one particular job, and that's just one branch of CSIT. There are other job avenues, business information worker, somebody who is doing more network maintenance and work and that kind of thing. Just all kinds of related potential jobs, but a thriving industry. So a really great opportunity in terms of ability to work and find work in this particular area. Before I go on, just to talk about career services, anybody have any questions about these couple of slides? Feel free to throw them in the chat or to just unmute yourself. No questions? Okay, I'll keep going. So the Career Center obviously is here to support you on your pathway, and many of you are at all different places in your academic journey. So if you're still kind of on the fence and unsure about your major, we have the first two kind of bullets there are really about assistance with what we call career counseling. And a career counselor is the person who can help you if you're really uncertain. I'm not sure what I want to major in. I'm not sure what I'm good at, just sort of trying to do some self-discovery to do assessments to figure out what's the right career pathway for you. And the career pathway helps you to lead to what's the right major for me. Maybe you're even a step past that and you've decided, hey, I really want to do CSIT, but I don't know what kind of job, is network administration more interesting, cybersecurity, data analytics, kind of there's all different kinds of potential career paths. So you have to kind of untangle that a little bit too. So having an appointment with a career counselor is a great place to start if you find yourself in one of those particular areas. I can help you with that. If you're interested, you can just connect with me after or throw a message in the chat and we can connect to get you in front of a career counselor. It's a great way to sort of get in that discovery process, but really to make sure that you're on the path that's going to lead you toward meaningful and fulfilling work. Once you're on your way, kind of, again, what Steve was talking about earlier is that we can also help you toward pursuing an internship. So it's the best way to test drive a career, see if it's the right thing for you. I've had the privilege to mentor about 25 different interns, primarily in the business area during my time at MiraCosta. And I've had a couple students that have said, I do not want to do this for my career. And I applaud that, because it is that you have found that you're you're determining that early on in your academic journey, and you can make a turn, do something a little bit different. So maybe you're on the fence about a couple different potential jobs or career areas. That's a great way to make sure that you're on the right track before you go on to your bachelor's degree, if that's where you're headed. And then maybe you need a job now. Maybe you're in a situation where you have had COVID circumstances have made it so that you need a part-time job, or you're ready to kind of enter into your career area, and you're branching out for that first professional type job that's related to your field of study. We can help you with all those kinds of resources to do preparation. And we have a system, we call it JANE. It's the Job and Internship Network, but it's kind of the starting place for jobs, internships, on-campus opportunities, virtual opportunities these days, but lots of different possibilities to assist you. So we're here to help, and happy to support you as you kind of discover your path and figure out what your direction might be. Anybody have any questions about the career piece? Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Donnie, who's going to talk a little bit about academic counseling.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Donnie Munschauer. I am a counselor on campus. And, a lot of students may potentially be afraid to see counselors or don't see the value in seeing counselors. Maybe they talk to friends or they talk to their older brother and sister about how to sign up for classes. The catalog does list out the courses that you need for degrees, but if you need some assistance in talking to counselors about various issues with your academics, we're here for you. So as you see on the PowerPoint there is a specific link for our ACP business and technology students where you can go in and book an appointment for you directly with counselors that are specifically for the business and technology ACP. So the counselors are more involved with these majors and can more accurately potentially answer questions that you have related to those majors. So that's one way that will always be available for you to book those appointments. You are also able to see general counselors and go through the counseling office on campus. Right now through mid-January to the end of January, we're not doing any appointments through general counseling. It's all through express counseling, which is basically a chance for you to just get on a drop-in list. We've got a number of counselors calling students from first come, first serve, and working with them with whatever issues they may have. Ed plans can be created during those appointment or that drop-in counseling, or if you just have quick questions and you want to get confirmation about when to drop, what does the drop mean? Are these the right classes that I need? We can help you with that. And then there's the link down below where you would go to those express counseling sessions. Next slide. As I think about when I was in college, there were times when I was confused on what I wanted to study, on what classes to take, the order and the sequence of courses. So I just wanted to write down a couple bullet points of the benefits of seeing a counselor. So yes, we can confirm the academic requirements for your degree or certificate. And if you're looking at doing a number of different certificates and or degrees and looking at transferring, we can pull all of those requirements together so that we can build a plan for you to get them all done. We can save you time and money. I wish I had a penny for every student who said, well, I didn't need this. My friend told me to take this, or, whatever. So, we want to help you get your degrees, get your certificates, get the classes you need to get to the next step without wasting your time, without taking the wrong courses. So we're here to help you with that. We can help monitor your academic progress. You know, COVID has definitely brought some challenges with online learning and the struggles of maybe losing your job or having to take care of family members and just the stress of COVID. We can talk to you about various resources and things that you can do to be more successful. We can also talk about other campus and resources to help you while you're here at MiraCosta College. There's a lot of support. As the faculty have already talked about, we are here for you. Faculty want to see you succeed. I know when I've taught classes in the past, I never liked awarding F grades, you know, or seeing those students who I knew could be successful, they just weren't following through. So we're here to help you and support you as you work towards your courses. And then finally, one of the big things is to help you learn about what classes you're going to do in each semester. We can use the My Ed Plan program in SURF and create a comprehensive student education plan. CSEP, as it's sometimes called, Ed Plan, Student Ed Plan. There's a lot of names for basically putting the list of classes together from one semester to the next, so you can see the layout of all your classes and kind of see how long it's going to take you to complete your degree or certificate. Building these education plans gives you a realistic view of how long it's going to take you to complete your degree or certificate, to help you plan when you need to get these internships done, when you need to do informational interviews, when you want to do X, Y, and Z to really get you set up for success. Our hours, while we're in COVID and while we're not, are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're doing some select Saturdays. We actually have availability this Saturday for appointments. And if any of you are interested in making an appointment, I will put the link for the ACP one-on-one appointments in the chat in a second, and you can click that and make an appointment. And like I said, we've got appointments available later on today and on Saturday. And there's about a 2-minute video on the My Ed Plan program. So we're going to play that real quickly, and then I'll answer any questions that you may have.
I don't think I optimized it for sound, so I'll share it and make sure that I am good with the sound.
What classes should I take next semester? How close am I to graduating? What if I change my major? Can I still graduate by next spring? These are questions that can be answered by My Ed Plan, MiraCosta's new online tool to help you stay on track. Use it to see your major certificate requirements, track your progress, run what-if reports, and view your online ed plan. You can access My Ed Plan through SURF. Log into SURF, then click the My Ed Plan button. The first thing you will see when you log into My Ed Plan is your degree audit worksheet. A degree audit worksheet is a list of all the academic requirements for your goal at MiraCosta and how the classes you've taken apply to those requirements. You can track your progress by seeing which requirements are completed and which are outstanding. You will see academic requirements based on the catalog year you are following, your official major or certificate goal at MiraCosta, and your chosen GE pattern. Thinking of changing your major? You can run a My Ed Plan what-if scenario to evaluate other goals without officially changing your major with the school. The what-if report shows how your classes would apply to a different catalog year, major, or GE pattern. This is a great way to explore other majors. Beginning fall 2015, My Ed Plan will be the primary tool for counselors to create semester-by-semester education plans. This means you will be able to view your counselor-approved ed plan online 24/7. Students can also create their own draft ed plans for approval when they see their counselor. Your education plan should include any outstanding requirements, prerequisite classes, and prep classes for transferring to another school. My Ed Plan helps you and your counselor stay directed and focused on your success at MiraCosta. Don't lose sight of the finish line. Stay on track with My Ed Plan.
All right, thank you, Nina. Sure. And then just this last slide, as you're here on campus, like I said, there is support for you. There's a lot of resources that you can get involved with. Club IT is a great way to get involved, meet other students, meet the faculty, and really work one-on-one with them. You know, when you meet with a counselor, when you meet with faculty, when you meet with Career Center staff and faculty, all of us can help connect you to the services that you may need. Does anyone have any questions about the counseling component?